Imagine a blur of silver and white, a needle threading through the silken mist of the Japanese Alps. You're inside the Shinkansen, the legendary bullet train, traveling at over 200 miles an hour with the precision of a Swiss watch. Outside the window, the world is a kaleidoscope of emerald green forests and jagged peaks. One moment you're in the heart of Tokyo's neon concrete jungle, and the next you're deep in the silent, mossy heart of an ancient cedar grove. This is the true pulse of Japan, a country where speed meets absolute serenity, and where the cutting edge of the future doesn't just replace the past but breathes life into it. It is a nation defined by its restless motion, a constant flow between ultra-modern efficiency and a profoundly slow, intentional way of being. We're beginning a journey across an island nation that is not just a destination but a soul-stirring transformation. This is the epic tale of Japan. To understand the people of Japan, you must first understand the ground they walk upon. This is a land forged in the chaotic fires of the Ring of Fire, a massive tectonic junction where the earth is constantly shifting and groaning beneath the waves. Over 80% of the Japanese archipelago is made up of rugged, unyielding mountains and active volcanoes. Space is a luxury here, and the land itself is a volatile character in the national story. Mount Fuji, with its perfectly symmetrical cone, is not just a postcard image, but a silent, sleeping giant that commands respect and fear, because the geography is so jagged and restricted. The people have learned to live in perfect harmony with nature's outbursts, developing a culture of resilience and meticulous organization. They have turned a collection of isolated volcanic rocks into a thriving paradise. Every cliff, every hot spring, and every terraced rice field is a testament to human ingenuity, overcoming the most violent forces of geology. This harsh beauty forced the population to congregate in the fertile plains, giving rise to some of the most densely packed yet beautifully orchestrated urban centers on the planet, where every square inch is treated as sacred ground. Long before the steel tracks and glowing screens, there was the myth of the Great Stir. According to ancient Shinto legends, the primordial gods Izanagi and Izanami stood upon the floating bridge of heaven and plunged a jeweled spear into the ocean's brine. As they lifted the spear, the droplets that fell from its tip hardened into the islands of Japan. From this divine birth came the sun goddess Amaterasu, the grandmother of the imperial line, whose light still graces the national flag. This isn't just folklore, it is the spiritual DNA of the country. In the Shinto faith, the wind, the trees, and the rushing rivers are inhabited by kami, or spirits. You see this connection in the orange torii gates that stand defiantly in the rising tides, marking the entrance to a realm where the spiritual and physical worlds bleed into one another. When a traveler walks through a mountain shrine, they aren't just looking at wood and stone. They are stepping into a story that has been told for thousands of years. It is a respect for the invisible world that makes every corner of Japan feel haunted by beauty. This spiritual tether to the land creates a travel experience that feels like walking through a living cathedral where every breeze and cherry blossom holds a deeper, ancient meaning. The history of Japan is a dramatic saga of isolation and explosive change. From the prehistoric Jomon hunters to the elegant height of the Heian court, the islands developed a distinct identity sheltered by the sea. For centuries, the shogun and his samurai warriors ruled with an iron code of Bushido, a philosophy of loyalty, honor, and death before dishonor. The samurai weren't just soldiers, they were patrons of the arts, architects of a rigid but sophisticated social order. Then came the era of Sakoku, over 200 years of self-imposed isolation where the country closed its doors to the outside world, allowing its culture to ferment and sharpen like a folded steel blade. When the black ships of the West finally arrived in the mid-19th century, Japan did something no other nation achieved. Instead of falling, they modernized with a speed that shocked the globe. Within a few short decades, they traded kimonos for business suits and katanas for industrial power, leapfrogging into the 20th century without losing their core essence. This lightning-fast evolution created the fascinating layered society we see today. You can visit a medieval castle in the morning and a skyscraper that looks like it belongs in the year 2100 by lunch, bridging 1,000 years of history in a single subway ride. Japan is a sensory masterpiece where the contrasts are so sharp, they create a unique vibrance found nowhere else on Earth. 1 hour you are participating in a quiet tea ceremony where every slow movement is a meditation on the fleeting moment and the taste of bitter matcha. The next hour you're standing in the center of Shibuya Crossing, surrounded by giant video screens and a sea of humanity moving in a synchronized dance of urban life. There is the haunting grace of a geisha moving through the dark wooden alleys of Gion, and the vibrant neon-drenched chaos of Akihabara, the world capital of anime and gaming culture. This is a place where you can watch the raw power and ancient ritual of a sumo wrestling match before heading to a high-tech robotic restaurant for a dinner of the future. The seasons are treated like rock stars here, from the fragile pink petals of the spring cherry blossoms to the burning reds and oranges of the autumn maples. Every element of the culture, from the presentation of a single piece of sushi to the design of a luxury hotel, is executed with omotenashi, the spirit of wholehearted hospitality. It is a country that obsesses over the details, making the smallest moments feel like epic highlights of your journey. What makes Japan the ultimate travel adventure is not just the places you see, but the way it makes you feel. It is a destination that challenges your perceptions of time, technology, and nature. It is a place where the air smells of cedar and diesel, where silence and noise exist in a perfect, fragile balance. When you visit, you aren't just a spectator, you become part of a rhythm that has been perfected over millennia. From the snowy heights of Hokkaido to the tropical blue waters of Okinawa, Japan offers a world within a world. It is a country that looks you in the eye and asks you to be more observant, more respectful, and more daring. Whether you are trekking through the historic Kumano-Kodo pilgrimage trails or finding yourself lost in the multi-story labyrinths of Shinjuku Station, you are writing your own chapter in an epic story. The fusion of ancient soul and modern wonder is not just a marketing slogan, it is the physical reality of every street corner. So, why wait to see the future when you can experience a culture that has already mastered it while keeping its heritage alive? The mist is clearing from the mountain peaks, the Shinkansen is ready on the platform, and the sun goddess is shining her light on your path. Japan is waiting to change the way you see the world forever. Pack your curiosity and your sense of wonder, for the greatest adventure of your life is only a heartbeat away in the land of the rising sun.